Welcome back to my channel. This is Lolly, and a often requested tutorial that I want to share today is for putting a zipper in paper. And so this is going to be a pocket. I did not seal the left side because it's going to be in a cinch bound, so that will seal it. This is sewn. I'm going to show all of my gluing methods first, and then if you really want to see this sewn into paper, stick around for the end of the video. If you can't sew, don't want to sew, you can just watch all the gluing and then you can stop watching the video at that point. This was a really long zipper. You can see it goes how long it is here and all the way down there. So it was pretty long. This is the only part that had the zipper pull. But still, once you split the zipper, you could just stitch it or glue it into place, and it's open. It's really cute this way too. And the very zipper end I used here, glued that in place open, and just glued a little clock there on the bottom to cover up the very ends of the zipper. So what you're going to need is your paper, obviously. You need some paper glue. I like the Scotch Tacky Glue, which used to be called Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. Fabric Tack by Beacon is a really good fabric glue. Or if you have E6000, you can use it and a hot glue gun in combination. And then you're going to need a zipper. Now, I've been getting zippers from the thrift store, and these metal ones are going to be really cool looking, but they will give you a little bit of a fit in cutting off the end here. You have to be very careful because you don't want to ruin your scissors. This one here, I'm going to fold it in half and in half again. You can see how long that is. I will get a lot of crafts off of that one, but I don't want to mess with a metal zipper today, so I'm going to put those aside. So what I'm looking for in a zipper is I like the tiny little teeth here. Some of the zippers too have the fabric is overlapping the zipper, so it's a hidden zipper. It just looks like two pieces of fabric. You really want the zipper showing. And I play around with the zippers that I get from the thrift store. This one slides really easily. The more easily it slides, the better it's going to be for a paper crafting, especially if you're only gluing it into place. So this one is pretty tough. I have a feeling this one is going to be more of a decorative one, and I'll use it more for this type without the actual zipper pull being used. So I'm going to go with this one. The other thing that's really cute, I did one today with this, and this is glued instead of sewed. I love the big chunky teeth. It's very fun, but again, it makes a product that's so hard to zip that it could really start tearing the paper off the zipper soon. So be careful with this. I think because this zipper is so tough, I will stitch over that even though it's glued in place. Once you have cut off the top zipper, see, it just pulls apart easily, and that's how I did this kind right here. So there you go, just some thoughts there. Okay, so what you need, where'd my paper go? Here it is. You need a front and back piece. There is a way of doing it all in one piece, but then it gets a little more complicated in measuring. Whatever size you want your envelope to be, that's your back piece. The front piece needs to be just as high, but can be a 1/4 inch shorter in width, because when you split it to make room for the zipper, excuse me, this will be longer. So I like to have the zipper close to the end so that my papers actually fit in. If I put the zipper right in the middle, I can't really put anything in there very well. So I'm thinking of where I want this. I don't have to really measure per se, just kind of eyeball. Right about there I think I'm going to go. Okay, so we can leave the zipper up like that. I want to find, there's a little metal stops on the end here. I want to glue those at the top of the paper. That's what my goal is. So I'm going to get my Beacon glue, and my zipper wants to fall off the table while I'm talking. Here you go. I'm going to glue both of these sides like this next to the zipper. What I don't want to do is glue it to where it's touching the zipper, because the zipper pull sticks out over the zipper on both sides, and as it goes down it will be scraping your paper and loosening it up. So I want to back it off a little bit, like about that much, you know, as I'm sewing it on. I mean gluing it on, and sewing. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this kind of next to there to see about how much glue, where I need to start and stop my glue. You need to kind of push down to get this fabric tack to actually stay on the zipper here. Just go to the end there and lay that on there. Again, not right up against the zipper. I'm giving myself some room. Excuse me. Right there. Now this gets tacky pretty quickly. And as I was saying, if you don't have Fabri-Tac, and I use this to glue lace on things, but if you don't have Fabri-Tac and you want to use E6000, E6000 takes longer to dry. So what you can do is E6000, the majority of it, and just put a dab of hot glue on the very ends to hold it in place while it's drying. You could do that with this too, but it does dry pretty quickly. I'm going to push that zipper back up there, and I'm just going to glue the right side here. There is an odor with this as well as E6000. E6000 has a stronger odor. Use it in a well-ventilated area. Okay, try to line the bottom. Now, because I'm not really looking over the top of my project, I'm looking from the bottom at an angle from where I'm sitting. So sometimes I really can't tell if I've gotten it at lined up on the top and bottom, unless I stand up and look down on it. That looks pretty good. So I'm just kind of smoothing it out and making sure that that is on there well. I'm going to pause the video and give this a chance to dry and set up. Okay, I'm back, and I want to cut off the excess zipper. Now here's where you need to be careful and not use your good paper scissors. These are the Tim Holtz tonic scissors, and they are very strong. And notice this is plastic zipper, but even these big teeth ones are plastic, and they're very hard to cut through, so please be careful and don't ruin your scissors. Now I have that metal tip here, and I don't want to cut the metal with my scissors either. So that's the front, and this is the back of the front. And then all we need to do is turn our back piece over and glue all the way around like that. Okay, and that's what I'm going to use my fabric glue for. Now the thing is, wait, before I do this, I do want to make sure that these are the same width, and almost perfectly. This one is a teeny bit longer. Remember, we made it a little 1/4 inch shorter, but we're not perfect on how we measured this, because the zipper, it takes up some room. So what I'm going to do is actually glue the bottom piece, because I know that that's the correct size. I'm going to go all the way around here. Whoops, that was a mistake. I don't want that way up there. My elbow bumped the table. There we go. And now I'm going to glue the front to the back, and that will make it into the envelope. Remember, I'm going to line up the side right here and not worry about that side, because that side I'm going to trim so that they all match. And one thing you can do is to clip this down on the zippers while it's drying. Now, the other thing is, on a zipper at the very bottom, there's this metal thing to stop the zipper pull from going all the way down and off the zipper. We have cut that off. So we need to do something down here to stop the zipper from being pulled all the way off. I know the two pieces of paper are glued together, but that might not be enough. If you're sewing, you can sew straight across that, which I did on this one. This one, I used a stapler and just stapled right over that. Again, it only works on the really tiny, tiny teeth. If you have the big fat teeth like this, it's very hard to staple over there. I mean, I've done it, but it's not a pretty job. So I stapled here. The other thing is, if you do hand sewing, is to just go up and down and around and around and around in a loop, down the paper, up the paper right here, and make a loop of thread right across there. You could also use some crazy glue, some Loctite super glue, and just glue the ends of the zipper so that they will be strong and will not allow this to go down below them. You can do this after you sew too, to make sure that that's sturdy. So I would let this set for a little while, and then I would just trim off this extra, or you could just hand trim it off with scissors like this. And I can see I didn't get this glued very well there, so I'm going to glue that again. There we go, and stick that. Okay, so that's one. Now we have that, which one did I use? This one. We have this amount of zipper left over. So at this point, all you have to do is pull it apart like this. And then if you have, let's see, let's get this piece of paper here. Hold on. Okay, so here's going to be my front piece. This isn't the one I want. I want to make the second style. I'm getting piles everywhere of my work here. I want to do the second style that didn't have the zipper stop on it, and that's this one here. And so I'm going to be, this is my front, and this will be my back. So again, I need to cut this so that I can make room for the zipper, and I want to cut it off to the side. This is actually much easier to glue because you don't have to mess with the zipper pull. Okay. This is a little wrinkly. You could iron this carefully as long as you don't melt the plastic there. And this one, it's perfectly okay to use the big plastic teeth because you're not going to sew over it, but okay, and you're not worrying about it opening and shutting. Okay, glue this one. And again, you could use E6000 and hot glue, or you can use the Fabri-Tac. I'm going all the way to the end with that one. And this one we can go all the way up against the zipper because there's no zipper pull that's going to be moving up and down. Therefore, it won't matter if I get it really close to the end of the zipper there. But this would be really cute with the big, big chunky zipper showing. And now this one. And up we go again. So I had thought that these zippers were costing me 10 cents a piece. When I went back to that same thrift store, I found out they were 50 cents a piece. But she ended up only charging me $0.25 a piece. So that's what's good because I got several of them this time. Zippers, if you buy them new, can be rather expensive. So the other thing to do from now on, you know, when you are getting rid of a garment, you know, shirt, pants, whatever, and have buttons on them, but the outfit is not good enough to, you know, give to the thrift store. And so you end up throwing it away or using it for fabric scraps. Well, remove your zipper just like you would normally remove buttons. I think this is going to hold enough for me to go ahead and cut this off now. 1, 2, and you see we can still get 1 or 2 more cards off of that. So that's that, and where's my back? We're going to glue that over the back right here. Let me just check this out for measurements. That's fine. Okay, going to glue those on. I see my pink zipper wants to get in the limelight here and be part of the show. Okay, and that. Glue that on there. Since there is so much, its thickness here with the zipper, I think I'm going to pin this down to really, make sure that that stays. Okay, and one more right there. And then where'd the other one go? Right here. And same thing here. I'm going to pin those down and let them dry that way. And then we'll move on to the next style. You know, it only takes about 5 minutes with this Scotch quick dry, and then I'm ready to take these binder clips off of there. They work really well to hold the project, so you don't have to sit there and hold it with your hands. Okay, and one more. I seem to be finding only all the small ones here, but that's okay. Okay, now that one's going to sit and dry. Isn't that beautiful with the burgundy zipper on the neutral card? Pretty, pretty. Okay, that one's going to set aside. Now I want to show you how I did this one, and then I'll move on to sewing a zipper on. I won't show you sewing with all of these. So all we have to do is just open this up and glue it down. And you notice that this wants to overlap on the bottom when I do that, and that's fine. That's why I covered it up here. So I have a back here. I have a front here, but I want the front to be shorter. I have to first of all figure out how long I want this pocket to be. And I'm guessing somewhere around here. So I'm going to trim that off right about there. Not a precise measurement, I'm just eyeballing it. So that's going to be my pocket. So all I need to do is glue this down in place. And there is a front and back. See the bottom catch right here? It's smooth. The back is lumpy. I want that there. So what I'm going to do is glue one side and then the other. Let's get the back out of the way. I'm going to glue one side then the other, like this. And then I'm going to overlap these two and glue them down like that. However, one thing you can do is to go ahead and take your pencil while it's still off of there and mark where you want to cut. So I'm going to mark this on the opening. But I don't want that paper showing, so I want to cut outside of the mark that I have created. I want that mark hidden under the zipper. So I'm cutting outside that. And there we go. So now I'm going to get out my Fabri-Tac again. And I'm going to glue down one side and then the other, making sure that I cover up my paper that's open right there. So I'm marking with my fingers how far down to glue. And just one side. Okay, hold that in place just for a sec. And then I'm going to glue the back of this one just as high. Only I'm going to cross the bottom like this, fold it over and cross it like that. Kind of like a bow at the bottom here. There we go. And I think it would call for one of these. So that's all I did with that one. I'm going to, again, trim the end of this off. There's still a teeny bit left of zipper if you want to use it for something else. It depends on how long of a zipper you get. That's why I say get as long as you can. Okay. Now, all I need to do on my background paper, turn this around, is glue just the two sides and the bottom, not across here. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Side, bottom, and I'm not being super careful here, sorry. You know when you're on video, you don't want to dawdle. And you'll notice that the Fabri-Tac is really setting up quickly for me. I mean, I wouldn't test it by pulling on it. And you can also, distress the edges of your papers before you get to the stage, before you actually put them together. So that is the pocket right there. See that? Now, you can use this however you want it. You can bind it and put it in an album. You can use other ways. But I do want to advise you to go ahead and cover this up with something, a button, some kind of metal piece, whatever, to make that prettier. Now, the only thing we have left is to show you how to actually sew a zipper on. If you know how to sew a zipper on, then you don't need to stick around. All you have to do is just what I do the first time is make your paper in two sections and sew up one side of the zipper and sew up the other, and you've got it on. That's all you have to do. So I will get that out. First of all, I want to say that if you have a sewing machine, you know how to use it, you need to get your zipper foot out. It's just really impossible to do this without a zipper foot. Okay, hold on.